Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hope you are ready for a great Freestyle Friday. We have our experts. Hey, Athena, sunshine expert.
Hi.
Oh, you're going to bring us some sunshine today. Hey, Natasha Halliday, all the way from Canada, Toronto, Canada. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, especially because it's not cold yet.
Yeah, we can talk about that, right? Everyone, I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show. And as you know, we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time, right here on this episode. So today is our Freestyle Friday expert panel. And we have two of them. We have a lot, but we have two that's taking their time to be here with us today. Our sunshine expert. And we also have our mental health and wellness in our minds. That's important. We have to have our minds right throughout this holiday season and through every day of our lives. Natasha Halliday. So grab your virtual seats. And what I want you to do, so you know what I want you to do, is share the broadcast, tag your friends, and let them be a part of today's discussion as we talk about mental health and we talk about some being in your comfort zone, getting out of your comfort zone, and bringing some real sunshine to this winter season. All right, y'all ready for this?
We ready.
Ready.
All right. And we have Mackenzie backstage. I like to acknowledge who's backstage helping us as well. She's a mom of two, a boy and a girl. Mackenzie, thank you. All right, so everybody, we have a great show lined up for you today. We're going to kick off just by starting with a commercial and one of our episode sponsors. I love acknowledging people that take the time to pour into the Kim Jacobs Show, because without them, this broadcast wouldn't even be possible. So I want to thank the episode sponsors for today, which is Attorney Charles Everidge with Hunter Everidge Law Firm. We're going to be seeing their commercial. They can be reached at 704-457-5000, 704-457-5000. And if you're dealing with a workers' compensation claim, you're dealing with some type of disability, and maybe you've even been denied, make sure you know that's an option for you to reach out. Or you're dealing with wrongful death of a loved one. You want to give them a call if you're in the Carolinas area, the Richmond, Virginia area, or the Alabama area. So let's hear from them now. We'll be right back.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Everidge. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, everyone, we're back, and we're going to go ahead and hear from our sunshine expert with some tips for us today. And you can chime in and ask any questions you have. Let me put this link. Some people want to come on live. Now, I know if you're an audio podcast listener, you're like, we can't join in, Kim, but not at that level. But if you're watching the broadcast on any platform, you can use the link that I just put in the comment section, and it will pop you into the broadcast. You have to show your camera in order for us to let you actually come on and ask a question. But if you have questions for Athena, or you have questions for our expert, Natasha, you can cut and paste that right into your browser, and it'll bring you right into the broadcast. All right, Athena, tell us what you have for us today, sunshine expert.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a happy Friday. First, always a pleasure to be here. I thank my sister Kim so much for just allowing this platform of joyfulness to share with everybody. And also good to see my sister Natasha this morning. I am coming to you with some great things. First, I wanted to share with you guys that recently went on a cruise. I recently went on a cruise to the Bahamas, Nassau, Bahamas, with my parents and my younger son. And y'all, I had a ball. It was amazing. Even we ran into some trickery weather. It was some storming, but even with the rocking of the boat, it still was just a joyous moment, different experience. Of course, this is my first time my family was traveling, so I was super excited for my babies. My babies, I'm talking about my parents and my son. I was super excited for them. The food was good. And I share all of that to say, if you have a moment to take a vacation, if you have a moment to get away from locally where you're staying, do that. Whatever that looks like for you, whether it's a cruise, whether you're flying to see a friend or a loved one, or even if you're just get in a car and you just drive, sometimes it's good to just drive over to the next town. You don't have to go far away, but you can just go to the next town and, take your creative imagination and make it great and make it work for you. But definitely you want to do that. And that's just a sense of fresh air to breathe, fresh air to clear your thoughts, and it kind of like just resets you. So when you come back, you're ready to jump into the groove of things, whether it's work, um, or business or just personal, but you're ready because you have had a chance to get away and enjoy. So I just wanted to first share that, open that up with that first and foremost. Of course, I have to tell you guys how good God is. He is so truly amazing in my life. I'm going to speak for Athena, how amazing God is and the great things he's doing in my life. He's doing some amazing things, and starting some new journeys. And so I'm super excited. And so this is what brought me to today. When you need to rezone, you're going to rezone from your comfort zone.
Okay.
Everybody has a comfort zone. Everybody have a comfort zone. And I'm talking not only to my sisters in the panel, but also in my audience. We all have comfort zones. So I want to know, how do you guys rezone from your comfort zone? For me, I would say tip 1 is rest. Tip 2, release. Tip 3 is reset. I'm glad you asked me about all of
Wait, wait. Because you going, and this is a good thing. But I want to go back for a second, if you don't mind, before you start the tips.
Go ahead.
Okay. The cruise. Let's go back for a second. Because Natasha, if you want to chime in too, feel free. Let me put us in a okay. Let's talk about the cruise for 1 second before we deep dive into the tips. Because we have a whole hour here, right?
Yes.
How many of you all do take time to travel during the holiday season or just at any point throughout your life? If you're in the studio audience, we want to hear from you. Do you take time to travel? And if so, what does it look like? What is your experience? Do you take your children? Is it you and your spouse? Is it just you and a getaway of unplugging from everything? What does your travel look like? Put it in the comment section. Natasha, if you have any thoughts on what you do when it comes to travel, share it, and I'll share mine too.
I can definitely chime in. I love to travel. So, of course, the little thing called COVID stuck a pin in that, or so it thought. So it helped me reframe my concept of being a traveler. So I live in Canada, so I live in the province of Ontario. And I didn't even I could drive for 14 hours and still be in the same province. Our provinces are much larger than your states for the most part, because we only have 10 of them in 3 territories. But I was just like, I'm going to travel within Ontario. I have one friend who I do most of my weekends away with, and we did short getaways. And we made our own charcuterie boards that we had in the hotel. We got creative, but it was just, part of it was recognizing we just want to be somewhere else, see something else, right? One of the things we didn't get to do, so we went about 2 hours west of the Toronto area, and we wanted to go hiking in this gorge, except that it was like a heat wave. And I was like, listen, I took 4 steps to get into the air conditioning grocery store and I almost passed out. I can't hike I can't hike in a gorge in this kind of weather. So we didn't get to accomplish that part of it. We'll have to go back. But one big thing about that taught me that, for me, as much as I love traveling to big exotic places, I just like seeing something else, stepping outside of my normal routine and experiencing something else. And because I love travel, the other thing I wanted to say is I'm committed to travel. So I did research. I got a great points card, and of course I can't offer any tips to all the Americans because I live in Canada and my credit card's a Canadian one. But I have been to Ireland, England, and that was the same trip. Like, I went from Ireland to England before I flew back home. I've been to other parts of the Caribbean and stuff like that, and didn't pay a cent on the flight. Like, my points don't just there's some that don't cover taxes and fees. This one covers every cent. If you have enough points, it covers it. So I'm very committed to knowing which travel point card to have, how to make it work, because it made travel more accessible for me, right? I created a vacation account. So I have money taken out of my checking account twice a month. And so my goal is I return from the trip, I pay it off within a week, because the money's sitting there in an account waiting to be used for that. So because I'm paying towards my travel all year long, travel's more accessible to me.
Oh my gosh,
right?
that is awesome. That is an awesome tip.
Yeah, and so one of our Canadian banks, which I think y'all have there, BMO, they let you name extra accounts. So my account literally says vacay. I didn't even put vacation. It literally says vacay. When I log into my thing, it says vacay. And if I have extra cash, I can throw it into, I'm going to Bali in September. And so I need to start throwing, because this is not my yearly savings. This is going to cost a bit more, because I'm not flying for 20 plus hours in the lowest rate. I need to fly comfort because I'm moving on to the plane for a day. So I need to travel in comfort. But that has been something that has made travel more accessible, is being intentional to plan for it in many ways, which is having my vacation account, which is having a really good points card. And just any and everything that I can to make travel work, I'm going to do it because I value travel that much.
I am so glad that you're sharing that tip. I hear echo, but I'm so glad that you're sharing that tip, Natasha, because people, you have to know better in order to do better. And so that's just a great strategy to designate that this is what my money is going to be used for on this particular card. And I get a chance to not have it merge in with anything else is going to happen as a result of you designating it that way. I love that tip. So y'all, you're getting some good advice. I know I have a rewards card thing where I actually get reward points if I use my card in different regards. So that is a good way for me to use my card too, and share those kind of strategies, implement those kind of strategies. I'm excited about. Okay. So as far as travel, let's see, any comments, Mackenzie backstage, any comments that people said about travel, put them up, please. If you do see any, or any comments, just put some comments up. As far as what else you said too, that I love, Natasha, is that within your own city, or you can find so much to do. And we do a lot of staycations here with our family. It may be bowling, skating, whatever it is, hiking. We'll go to some of these local mountains in our area and just do a 3-mile hike. But somebody has to stay back with me. It's so funny. It's my oldest son, Frankie, Ivan, Jeremiah, and Jayla. Time we get out of the car, they have their backpacks, they have their walking sticks, and they are gone. I mean, gone. And Frankie's like, Mom, I'll stay back with you and we can talk. And it's like I'm really elderly, I understand, but it takes me a long time to get through
the point is you're still doing it.
You're still doing it.
That's what you need to
recognize. The great part.
Yep. You didn't opt out because you can't necessarily move at the pace they do.
But he stays with me till the end, until we literally get to the top of the mountain, the same place that they're up there eating their sandwiches and their drinks. And we're there maybe 45 minutes later, but I'm there at the top of the mountain with my hands raised, like I made it.
Yes.
But people never know what you went through to get to the top.
That's
And if I could add one other thing, one thing I'm learning is to do a bit of research, because I used to, again, think I'm going way over there across the world because they've got so many great things. And then I started learning about what's around me.
right.
So, like being in Toronto, I'm not far from Niagara Falls. It's a 2-hour drive.
Yes.
When I did a bit of research some years ago, pre-pandemic, I learned that the Niagara Escarpment has like over 20 falls. So now I've gone to visit some of the smaller falls. My goal is to see all of them. But now I'm just like, Niagara Falls is amazing. I'll never stop being in awe of the breathtaking beauty of the falls.
Yeah.
But the fact that there are other falls that I can see that really helped me drive back to Toronto, I'm like, I'm going to go check out more of those.
Yeah.
And I'm learning about, like, you know, when I travel, I like to see caves. I'm like, oh, there's places to see caves here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Athena, read, if you will, the comment that came up and get you
Sure.
involved.
From Miss Cynthia Lennox, she says travel allows us to meet wonderful people, keeps life fresh and exciting. It does. It's an ultimate pleasure. Yes. We also have a travel and entertainment account that pays everything before we go. And one thing that my sister had mentioned, Natasha, she mentioned that be intentional. Be intentional when traveling. You know, that's a great tip. You want to be intentional. You want to plan. I'm pretty sure it's probably even more adventurous if you just jump up and do something. You'd be like, if you have the time, the money, and you're ready to go, and you got all of that lined up, you can be adventurous and jump up and wing it and be like, look, I'm just gonna go over here to Timbuktu, and I'll be back. I gotta go see what's over there. I hear some more sunshine over there. Go for it. But definitely you want to be intentional. You want to plan. And also, Cynthia, another comment she said was she already covered 51 countries and just got back from her 26th cruise through the Panama Canal. So that's amazing. She's traveling for real. So I know she got some good travel tips. I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know we got some good travel tips. So, we got a travel expert? There you go. Do we have a travel expert on our Freestyle Friday show?
Yeah. Well, let me do this. You can take the comment down for a second, Mackenzie. I will tell you all that you can definitely go to, I want to put this in the comment section, Kim.
Okay.
Jacobs.IntellaTravel.com.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I'll double check it during the commercial break. But I want to make sure you know that you can book your travel there and you can get a price match guarantee on there. So it's just like if you're booking through any of these other sites, which I usually actually use a site myself. And I was like, hey, I can get different things happening if you use this kimjacobs.IntellaTravel.com. So make sure you take a moment and cut and paste that and sign up and become a part of that program where you get your price match guarantees. You can book all your travel. No, I don't get a chance to see what your travel is in detail at all, but you get a chance to book it there and sign up and get the same type of prices that will be hopefully more discounted for you. All right, let me do this. I'm gonna play a quick commercial, come back and hear these tips that we are talking to our sunshine expert about, because she getting ready to drop some knowledge on us about our comfort zones. So let me play these right quick and then we'll be right back. I'll play them, Mackenzie. Give me a second if I can find them right quick. Mackenzie like, hey, I'm here. I'm in the back office and it's a beautiful thing. She's a new mom to a baby girl and I'm excited for her. All right, let me play that.
Who are those people? You know, the guys playing golf in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. The woman wearing $1,000 shoes at a cafe in the city. The kid in the ripped jeans driving a $200,000 sports car. What do they know that you don't? One word: leverage. Working smarter, not harder. Owning their own business, not being owned by a job. The good news? We have it. Interested?
One more. We'll be right back.
Two things are almost certain about you. Number one, you know people who travel. Of course you do. Everybody travels. It's an $8 trillion industry. It's what people dream about doing. And number two, you probably aren't making the commission. You see, every car rental, every hotel, and every resort pays commissions. They may go to a website or to a traditional travel agent. But trust us, someone is earning it. Well, what if we could show you a way to put that commission in your pocket? It doesn't hurt to take a peek. Interested?
All right. Okay. So we're back. If you're interested in learning more about just owning a piece of the travel industry, you can reach out at trueyougetaway@gmail.com. Trueyougetaway@gmail.com. Okay. Let's go back to our Freestyle Friday expert, Athena. She's talked to us already about being able to get out of our comfort zones and some tips that she's going to share with us. So let's go back.
Yes, as we rezone from your comfort zone, these tips that stuck with me while meditating on this to share with you all was rest, release, and reset. When we're stepping out of our comfort zone, in order to make a move out of your comfort zone, you got to have a plan. Hopefully you have a plan. You need a plan. You need to know your next level of movement. So of course you can't do that unless you have rested well. You have had a clear mind, so you can gather and get your thoughts together as you prep and prepare to move forward. So resting is always good for the mind, body, and soul. If you can't rest during the night, I would strongly encourage you, if you can take 15 to 30-minute little naps, let me tell you, it'll change your life. If you ain't never took a nap before, I was not a napper. I would hear my bestie and some of my colleagues be like, oh, I'm just going to get a 15-minute little cat nap or 30-minute and I'll be good to go. But y'all, when I took a nap, and I didn't fall asleep for a long time, although them naps are good too. But the cat naps that kind of like give you that quick boost for energy, it was amazing. It was amazing. It felt good. I was energized and I was ready to go. So make sure you are rested. And tip 2, release. Release means let it go. Let anything that you're holding on to, let it go. Let me tell you, we are in the month of December. Goodbye, November. Hello, December. We got 31 days in before we get to 2024. Let it all go. You can look back. You can look back and be like, yep, it's just that simple. Watch this. Yep, I came a long way. Let's go. Okay. And that's also called reflecting. You can reflect. I didn't say get stuck. I said just do a quick turnaround. Boom. That's it. Quick turnaround. That's it, Kim. That's it. Just a quick turnaround. And you'll see how far you came. And you'll be like, oh, I let that go a month ago. Oh, I released that. I just released that yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday. It's gone. It's gone. Yesterday gone. Today is here. The future is coming. By the grace of God. He gives us breath daily. He wakes us up. The new day we look forward to, for you to put one foot in front of the other. So release, let it all go. And you know what? Ain't nobody holding it against you. If y'all don't remember, when we first started in 2023, I came on the show and I was like, we celebrating, we hitting the pavement. We are running forward. We got new things to do. We are out here about our business and we making movement that way about our business. So now we're at the end of the year. We still celebrating, but you're celebrating the victory of how far you came, the things you have accomplished, the things you had to let go in order to get to the victory. All of that. These next 31 days, you can reflect, you can regroup, and you can be ready to. It's going to lead you into tip number 3: reset. You reset. You and let it go. You rested. Now it's time to move forward. And since we're moving forward, that gives your mind a reset. You have a new outlook. You have new thoughts. You have new visions. Even your prayer life should be different. What I prayed for at the beginning of the year, my prayer life definitely looked different towards the end of the year. And I'm truly excited. I learned some new words to talk to Jesus. I'm telling you, exciting. So these are the tips for you to rezone from your comfort zone. And it's self-paced. And you don't have to compare yourself to nobody, because what is for you is for you. This is your journey.
Mhm.
It's not about what Kim doing. It's not about what Natasha doing. It is amazing. Let me tell you how amazing it is to celebrate one another, to give flowers to one another. And we're all on the same journey, just at different pace. And so my journey does not look like Kim's journey. It does not look like Natasha's journey. But what I tell you, my journey is for Athena, and it is amazing. And I'm moving. I am moving, and I'm getting things done. That's what counts. So rezone your comfort zone. Get ready for these next, this is December the 1st, 31 days. What that look like for you to wrap things up, to start things new, to prepare, to do away, all of that great stuff. It can be done. You can do it. Stay strong, keep the faith, and keep moving.
Y'all, listen, you know how if you do a drop the mic type of thing, it's like, pooh, y'all, drop the mic. That's that right there, a screenshot, right? Yeah, drop the mic. Athena Robertson, our sunshine expert, has dropped some tips on us on how to reset. And how can they stay connected with you, Athena?
Yes. You can stay connected with me on Facebook at Athena Robertson. I'm on Instagram, the IG at Red Honey. That's REDHONII, the number 7. I'm also the owner of Express Notary Public. I'm your mobile notary in the Mecklenburg area. So if you need a notary, you can reach me at 980-200-5740. I don't have it up here. I will have to get it. I'm on LinkedIn at Athena Robertson. You can Google Athena. You're gonna see my beautiful sunshine face.
Yes, he is our. If you Google Athena Robertson, sunshine expert on the Kim Jacobs Show, you're going to find Athena Robertson, this beautiful sunshine expert, wherever she is on social media. So thank you so much, Athena.
Thank you.
Let's see any comments come in that we need to address regarding what Athena's been sharing. Let's see. Dayron said, hey, rezone from your comfort zone. Dayron, glad to have you on. And he's the author of 101 Things That You Need to Know Regarding Jail. That's a good read right there, because all of us have somebody that we know has either been in jail, coming out of jail, or about to go to jail. You don't know what's going on, but it's stuff that's happening in life within our families and friends circle. Get his book, Dayron Swan.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, sunshine. He over here. He like, hey, sunshine.
Hey.
Okay. Dayron.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Dayron. There's some other people on this. Hey, Dayron. I'm Kim. Natasha, say something to Dayron.
Hey.
Dayron, like, no, it's sunshine. How you doing over there, sunshine expert? Let me stop being silly on this show today.
I got one comment in my feed that somebody was saying that she never used to take naps either, but but the days she works at home now, she now enjoys a solid 45-minute sleep on her lunch break.
Woo!
Read that exclamation mark is how she finished her comment.
Yes.
Is that comment somewhere in here? That's a great comment.
That one I think with my feed.
Oh, okay.
Facebook,
You got your own thing going on over there. But listen, anything coming into your personal feeds, read it out like that, because that's helpful. As far as that person that said that, I want to tell you that naps have changed. They've been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. I don't know if God just put me to sleep, especially it's almost like if I'm dealing with some things that's stressful in my life. And you might know from a mental health perspective, it's not narcolepsy, but he literally, it could be serious. And I mean, it could be a real serious situation. And I'm like, it's like, Are you kidding me? Your sleep? God just gives me rest when I need it. And that nap changes everything about how I deal with everybody else.
I'm the queen of what I call a sitcom nap. So people are like, what's a sitcom nap? You turn on the show, the opening credits start, you fall asleep, you wake up for the closing credits. I don't know how my brain goes sleep for 22 minutes, but it does.
I love it.
I'll be so mad. I'll be like, Natasha, you sleeping doing
but if that's the intention, Sometimes it's the intention, sometimes it's not, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're just
That's
going to talk about when I
hilarious.
intend to do it.
So you cut it on, and that's your rockabye, baby.
That my brain's like, girl, it's time. Go.
Well, a good nap, I promise you, in the studio audience will change everything about your day, how you deal with people. It gives you just more bandwidth to be able to exist and to be able to deal with things that's coming your way. So definitely take a nap if you can, no matter how you make it happen. Okay. What other comments? Somebody want to read that? Natasha, read that.
This one is Cynthia's comment about that I think Athena talked about. Already covered 51 countries and just came back from our 26th cruise through the Panama Canal. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's like travel like 3.0. Forget 2.0. Like, big up to Cynthia.
yeah.
I did see a comment. My friend, Mr. Floyd, I think he chimed in and he was saying, I know Mackenzie had put the comment up there. If you fail to plan or plan to fail. So it is always good if you have a plan, you know. So yeah.
Another female serial entrepreneur. Back to the sunshine. Like another.
We see your focus.
She'll bring the sunshine to your world, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Athena Robinson, you can stay connected with her right on Facebook and at Red Honey. She got that Red Honey. She used to have her hair red. That's what she's Red Honey 7 on Instagram. She's the owner of the Express Notary Republic, and you can reach her at 980-200-5740. 980-200-5740. Okay. Thank you so much, Athena Robertson. We're going to keep on going and let's go. Let me see. Let's get ready to hear from, we're going to be hearing from our mental health expert very, very shortly. Natasha, again, she's helping this broadcast be international. She's all the way in Toronto, Canada, and glad to have you here with us today. You say, how's the weather?
Always such a pleasure. Sorry?
How's the weather out there?
The weather's pretty good. When it's warm enough to rain, I will not complain.
You got all the slogans. You're the best slogan.
It was actually really lovely yesterday. I couldn't even believe. I drove to Women's Bible Study and I was upset that I had worked from home because I was like, I should have been out. It was gorgeous out yesterday. So it's all good. It's all good.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're here with your bright blue. And we have the sunshine expert, but you're the mental health expert. So blue kind of goes in that calming realm. I don't know if it's strategic. Is it that you have the blue on it?
I don't think it was. I just think I picked it because I like the color. This is actually one of the teal and purple are my brand colors. So, but it's still I sport my brand colors. I actually found this. I was at an event in the summer and I found this water bottle with my 2 brand colors, and I was like, okay, look, this. I'm just realizing I'm showing my busted nails. My nails need to be done. But water bottle, I love. I'm like, those are my 2 colors right there.
Well, see, we get to learn more about you every day, every time you come on. All right, y'all, we're going to take a commercial break and we're going to come back and hear from Natasha A. Halliday. We'll be right back right after this break.
Why learn about health when you can experience it? Experience it in beautiful Florida in February 2024. Join us for 3 days of integrative and intensive health and healing education and empowerment with the expertise of the following Healthopedia author, speaker, and facilitators. The world-renowned homeopath and acupuncture physician, Dr. James Marinakis, 4-decade health coach and holistic nutritionist, Dr. Joe D. Bear, and others such as Kimberly Meredith, Dame Doria Cordova, Rex Sykes, Dr. Gary Sanchez, Jamie Kerr, Serena Brown-Travis, and more. Experience daily morning walking and yoga, interactive participation, panel discussions, and more for your own epiphany of health. Get your tickets now.
All right, everyone, we are back and we are talking with Natasha A. Halliday. I put the A because that's a part of her branding. Make sure I have this right. Is that right? Natasha A. Halliday?
It's actually natashahalliday.com. I don't have the A in my website. The funny thing is I purchased it with an A afterwards and I never set it to redirect. So I need to do that because
Okay,
I actually own.
I'll help you. Or if you don't know how to do that, I mean, you probably do because you know there are a lot of stuff mentally. But if not, then I can get you sets for that too. But here we go.
But my social media is Natasha A. Halliday.
Okay, got that right. So Natasha A. Halliday is on all social media, and then Natasha Halliday is HALLIDAY for those that are listening.com. Make sure you stay connected with our mental health expert all the way from Toronto, Canada. Talk to us and tell us what you have for us today, Natasha.
Well, you told me let's look at balancing our mental health over the holidays. And the first thing that came to mind was let's start with talking about the fact that the holidays mean different things to different people.
Yes.
Right? For some, it's a very joyous occasion. Some people have very stressful memories about the holidays. For some people, it is a time where there's a flare up of maybe sadness or grief based on having lost a loved one. So I think it's important to keep in mind, it's not a one size fits all experience for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's very important.
So there's obvious tips. Don't eat too much. Right
with the food.
Listen, because I know I've done it. And like my parents are from the Caribbean. I'm like, I do Caribbean Christmas. So like there's turkey and ham maybe, but it's turkey and ham and oxtail and curry goat and fish. And like we just go everything. Like it's all the stuff. It's very easy to overeat. So one of the things I think it's important is, we can get really busy with the holidays, and how many people are guilty of this? You're thinking about all the stuff and not about yourself.
Yes.
And so I know my age is going to show in this, but I always say check in with yourself. And if you think about an old tuner radio where you had to turn the dial and there were the lines, if it was not right in line, there was static. So when I say check in with yourself, I want you to tune in with yourself till you get that clarity so you know what's going on with yourself. Mm-hmm. Right? So keep turning that dial. Oh, no, it's still fuzzy. Oh, no, it's still fuzzy. There's the clear sound. And then what's the clear sound telling you? Because the clear sound might tell you this is too much. This, keep going. This is great. You have capacity for more, but it's important to check in before you just run and then burn yourself out, right? Yes. So it's really important to do that. The beautiful thing is we now live in the age of technology. So we don't have to just connect with our loved ones locally. We can check in with them through technology, right? Zoom, Teams, Google Meet. There's so many, FaceTime, WhatsApp, you name it. Connect with people virtually so that you have an opportunity to see the people that matter to you, the people that you love, right? These are really important. And when I was saying check in with yourself, I think part of what's important for that is remember your unique needs. I've seen, I've seen it in television shows. I've seen it in real life where people are like, I need this. And they're asking this of the host. And they're like, well, I remember my great grandma's auntie's cousin so-and-so used to make this kind of thing. Could you make that too? And before you know it, the person's making 4 types of potato salad. Come on now.
That's like good.
In a whole meal and making 4 types of potato salad.
Let me stop and look.
Which brings us to my other point. Boundaries. Set boundaries. Learn to say no and set boundaries. And I had this thought when I was like, let's talk about boundaries. A lot of people don't know how to set boundaries. And I had a thought. Think about setting boundaries as an activity and getting to know you. The boundaries that I set tell you about who Natasha is.
That's right.
Because until I set the boundary, you might think that that's totally cool. That's totally easy for Natasha. But by me setting a boundary, I can say, no, I don't have the bandwidth, whether I don't have it ever or I don't have it right now. My boundaries give you information about me.
That's right.
So instead of feeling guilty about, oh, I don't want them to be disappointed. No, it's actually an opportunity for connection because I'm giving you more information about myself. That works. That doesn't, not right now, maybe later, whatever that might be. But set your boundaries and do it as much as you can guilt-free. We need to be, it is okay to think about ourselves. We live in an age of technology. I would never keep my phone at 2% most of the day. but we treat ourselves like a 2% phone.
That's good.
We're offering our charge,
That's good.
but we're not charging ourselves. So it's really important to remember that we need to, and before we can even ask of other people, why can't we pour into ourselves? Right? So it's important to remember your boundaries are part of that.
That's right.
Try to avoid overwhelm through, and I think those are the 3 tips that I gave you earlier, Kim.
Okay.
Delegate. You don't have to do it all. You just don't need to do it all. Decrease. Break things down into smaller tasks.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things I see about maybe cooking for the holidays is some people like want to get up Christmas morning and start everything. No, child. I got things in a pan ready to go in the oven from the day before. I got, some stuff that was cooked that, maybe you can just reheat, whatever. It's just like, maybe it doesn't need to be all done on the holiday, right? What are some of the ways we can decrease the amount of work in that time, right? And defer. Maybe when somebody says, I want that 4th type of potato salad, you're like, you know what? I got you for Easter. I'm going to try that one on Easter when I'm not doing these 3. But I don't need to try to do it all at once. I think one of the funny things about social media is we're busy trying to create a Pinterest, Martha Stewart, like postable Christmas or Easter or whatever the holidays. We're coming up to Christmas and Kwanzaa and all that kind of stuff and Hanukkah and what you name it. And it's just like, but who are we doing it for? Is this what's important to us? Sometimes I think we get caught up in what it looks like that we're forgetting. One of the things I think that feeds our soul about the holidays is the meaning. And if we do all these things that take us away from the meaning, of course we're going to feel less than. Because our souls aren't being fed by all that extra stuff, right? And some of the stuff that seems extra could be stuff that feeds your soul. I'm one of these people, I like to do color themes. So like I've had the gold and red, and then like for a few years it was purple and silver. And that might seem like the most to some people, like that's the stuff that tickles me. That makes me, so that's good for me. Right? But for somebody who's like, I don't know, I just want to throw decorations on a tree, then throw decorations on a tree and don't try to meet a theme just because that, in 2023, that's the way people are doing it.
Right.
Because if that's the way people are doing it in 2023, you still have to say, but who am I? And there's and here get a little technical as a mental health expert. There's a type of a modality of therapy called acceptance commitment therapy. And the person who created it, one of the things he said that I love, he says, when we step outside of our values, of course, we're not going to be happy.
Period.
When we're inauthentic, we can't be happy.
That's right.
So if I'm trying to make the Christmas that looks good on Instagram and Facebook, and it means nothing to me, I'm not going to enjoy that Christmas.
Right.
So you have to do something that's authentic to you, where you hold value, because otherwise you're pulling away from self. We can't be happy when we're pulling away from ourselves. So I think these are some of the things that are really important to remember, right?
Yes.
Another thing, how much do we get stressed out about the money? Let's talk about the money. How can we show love without spending a lot of money or any money at all? What are the ways that we can still give to somebody without breaking our pocketbooks? Especially in this day and age where inflation is at an all-time high and people are struggling financially, right? One, because we don't want to be teaching our children that Christmas is about how many presents you get.
Right.
And the bigger the present, the more you love me. Right? But also, that's not where our value is. Yes, some people have gifts as a love language, but where's the value in it just being about the big gift? That's not for everybody. But keeping in line with what your means are is another way to reduce your stress.
Yes.
Right? So that's something to keep in mind, is don't create stress, because a lot of what happens is people spend more than they overextend themselves financially. And then all the dust settles from the actual holiday. And then they start to get the bills. And then they're getting the bills when we've got about 4 hours of sunshine a day. No wonder people are sad.
Right.
I saw something the other day where it was a little reel where it was like, or a meme that says, had somebody running down the beach and says, me trying to get away from my bills, and had a slew of people running after it. And beside all the people running, it said bills. And I'm like, right? Like sometimes we find we're just trying to get away, but like, how have we contributed to it unnecessarily? Unfortunately, Christmas sometimes is one of those times where we go above and beyond, and it's like, but I don't love you any less if I don't do all that stuff. So I think even being aware of, taking stock of financially what's within your bandwidth, and then making choices according to what's in your bandwidth, right?
Yeah, these are some great tips. Great tips.
I got a few more.
Go ahead.
And this one, I'm starting to look at it, right?
Listen, I want everybody in the studio audience, as she's talking, put one of your top takeaways from what's been said with Athena and with Natasha, because these are some things that we can apply to our daily lives. So make sure you make note of something in that comment section so we can pop it in. Go ahead, Natasha.
So the last 3 tips I have, going back to boundaries, include that in technology boundaries. I actually saw something online that I love the way they phrase it. They said, stop the doom scrolling, right? If Christmas is a trigger for you or something like that, and maybe because somebody's not married and doesn't have children, don't go and look for all the posts where you see the pajama posts. And then you're upset that you don't get to make your own pajama post with your family, right? There's an easy way to avoid that. Come off the device. Come off that social media. Be intentional about what your goal is when you go onto social media, and then be intentional not to sabotage that by zoning in. Our brains have a way of filtering out stuff, and it can zone in on the very things that bring us pain. So maybe the more helpful thing to do is go, I'm not going to go on today because it might be upsetting to me, or because we can fall into comparison. So being cognizant of that. Avoid overbooking yourself, packing your calendar to the brim. How many people look forward to having holidays as the time off from work, but then are exhausted from how much they do during their time off?
That's crazy.
So see it as downtime, not do everything else but work time. And actually do the downtime by taking some time to do less, right? Obviously, maybe Christmas Day might be busier, but like relax a bit, tone it down. Right? And the last thing, because I am a comedian, make sure you find some ways to laugh. Laughter is so healing.
Yes.
And I think usually when you have a family event, the family provides its own brand of comedy, because there's who doesn't have a funny family member or have funny things they observe, but be intentional to tap into your points where you can laugh.
That's good.
Take a load off. That's part of back to the release that Athena mentioned, right? Our sunshine expert mentioned. We can release through laughter. It works. There's a physiological component, but it's also just that it's just enjoyable. So take some time to laugh if you can.
Yay!
Those are my tips.
Drop the mic tips again. Listen, booyah. You can stay connected with Natasha Halliday, and I want to make sure you know how to do that. Let people know, Natasha, how they can stay connected.
On IG, Facebook, all the socials, I'm at Natasha A. Halliday. So NATASHAAHALLIDAY. And my website is natashahalliday.com.
All right, let me make sure I put that up there. Here we go. NatashaHalliday.com, and on all social media, NatashaAHalliday.com. Y'all, if you have any comments or questions, let's pop them up and hear what people have to say so we can go ahead and address a few of them between our two Freestyle Friday experts. Let's see. Pop them up if you will. Oh, you know what? Mackenzie? Oh, you know what? That's funny. I'm talking to Mackenzie. She gone for a minute. So I'm like, hello, I need to pop. She like, girl, you done told me not to come in the middle of the broadcast if I drop off. So she's like, I'm trying not to, because it pops her right on the screen. So she's like, Lord have mercy. All right, listen, Dr. Lotus Rashay says what? Somebody read that comment for me.
Always a powerful show with phenomenal guests. Thank you so much for sharing this with the world. Dr. Lotus Rashay.
Lotus Rashay. She's from the Lotus Rashay. Right. No. global
nice.
program. Make sure you all stay connected with Dr. Lotus Verche. She's over here funny. She's co-hosting from the comment section. She said, "Hey, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, who is over CTR Media Network, where actually the Kim Jacobs Show streams over in 100 countries, 350 million households." She said, "Dr. Tina, what has been a major takeaway for you?" She hosting from the comments. Good job.
I love it.
Tammy, what does Tammy say, Natasha? Read that if you will.
Thank you, Lord, for stopping here and listening. Great tips.
Oh, thank you, Tammy, for being one of our VIP members in the studio audience. All right, great tips, Natasha. She said, "Thank you so much." Lots of comments have been coming in. Let me let you all know that you can support the Kim Jacobs Show if you believe that we are bringing balance to the world, one household at a time, and you're getting benefit from this broadcast. Is through community members like yourselves that pour into the broadcast. And that is the only way that, let me put it where you can actually see it from a static image. You can actually support in Cash App, $ Kim Jacobs Inc. You can also send it through paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. or through Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. So make sure you take a moment today and do some type of contribution so that we can keep this broadcast going Monday through Friday. Every weekday at 11 o'clock a.m., we are live and give you all the opportunity to experience wonderful guests like you see here today. Well, in this case, these are our experts, but we have guests that come on and share their backstories, and they may be providing a missing piece to the puzzle in your life. So make sure you take a moment to be a part of allowing us to continue to bring balance to the world, one household at a time. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to talk more about how we can balance our mental health, our sunshine, and even some drama in our lives. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, we are back, and we are here on this episode talking with Freestyle Friday experts, Natasha Halliday and our very own Sunshine expert. Did you want to say anything pertaining to anything that Natasha said, Athena, before we move on?
She gave some great tips. My takeaway was being intentional, and definitely taking care of me first. Me first.
Yeah, I actually was going to name a company You First, and then my father-in-law, before he passed away, he said, "No, you need to name the company Me First." I was like, "You mean like me?" He was like, That's right, me, because it's about you first before you can take care of anybody else." And then I had his son who didn't know that he had said that. He was like, "Who came up with that crazy idea?" I said, "Oh, your dad," because he came in mid-conversation. He was like, "What? Who said that crazy stuff?" But I do agree. If you don't take care of yourself, you're no good for anybody else. So you have to infuse ways to make sure you're okay before you can ever open yourself to be anybody else's blessing. I wanted to just share a couple of tips from my books. Sometimes I don't even tell you all these things, but I'm actually an author of a book, Extreme Balance Makeover, and it's on KimJacobsShow.com. And Extreme Balance Makeover are some of the tips that I shared as the NBC expert. Each week I would come on and share tips, and then Coca-Cola sponsored where I would go out and do balance makeovers for families in their homes. And we would do kind of like a super nanny thing where we would assess the situation and come up with some solutions. And so I have some copies of Extreme Balance Makeover available. And I do have some copies on hand of Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building Legacy. And there are 33 authors in that international best-selling book as well. And I'm also in the 2 books, This Is How I Fight My Battles Spiritually, and Women of War. And so I wanted to just share a couple of things that I think would be helpful for you all, especially if you're dealing with just some drama this holiday season. And sometimes when we're dealing with drama with family and friends, it's a few things that I think would be important to know. Want to ask yourself why? Why is this happening? Why does this consistently happen every time I guess I'll put myself over here for a minute and make these tips, these points. I don't get a chance to do that often as the host. But listen, ask yourself when you're dealing with drama constantly with the same people over and over, why does this consistently happen with this particular person? Maybe there's something that we need to do to look at our own behavior and not necessarily focusing on what are they doing every time, but what am I doing to them that's rubbing them the wrong way, that every time we have an interaction is something that's a negative outcome. And it's something that's happening in that dialogue that you might be able to tweak just a little bit yourself to say, this is what I could do differently when I'm dealing with this individual. And if you definitely check out Natasha Halliday, our mental health expert, she can give you further tips. But these are tips that I make in the book, Extreme Balance Makeover. And then also you want to make sure you stick to the facts only. When you're dealing with a person and you're starting to attack their character, then they don't want to hear what you have to say. At that point, it's an argument, it's a disagreement. And they're like, whatever you have to say, keep it to yourself because we're about to fight. And if it's escalated to that point, you don't want to start saying, well, I'm so sick of you doing this and I'm tired of you doing this and saying this. You want to stick to the facts. The fact is something is happening in our interaction. And I want you to know that that's not my intention. So I'm going to take an approach and back off and give some space here until we figure out how to resolve this. And that may require third-party assistance, or it may require us to be able to limit our interaction. And that's okay for that to happen for the safety of everyone involved. If you're getting into sweating mode, fighting mode, you're getting into a mode that pushes you out of your comfort zone, then that means it's time to take a slight break and determine what's the best course of action. You may research it on Google. I don't know what you need to do. Go to the bathroom and figure this out, but come back out and not talk about the same subject that you're talking about because it's going in a different direction that you need it to go in. And then make sure you don't dog anybody out to other people, because people are infamous and known for, well, I'm going to paint a picture about this person the way that I want the picture to be painted about what they're doing. You don't need to do that. Keep whatever is going on, because usually you end up working it out. Now other people are looking at that person sideways when you really didn't have to have that happen. So make sure you all keep those tips in mind, and you can go to KimJacobsShow.com to get a copy of this book, and I'll have it actually shipped to you. The shipping is already included and free from me, and it's called Extreme Balance Makeover. And those are just some of the tips I wanted to share with you as well today. And if you want to know more about anything that I offer, you can go to KimJacobsConsulting.com, and I offer a group training that is specific for those that want to start your own show from scratch. It's universal, so you can learn how to do it from a video, audio, and a live streaming perspective. Go to KimJacobsConsulting.com, and if you want to be a part of a group class, then I will tell you what that rate is. It's not on that page, but I have a group where you get a chance to split everything amongst you and 4 other students. So it's 5 students in a group class. All right. So those are my tips for today as well. And we want to go to any closing comments. Any closing comments you all have?
I would just say, have your holiday your way.
Have your holiday your way. Have your holiday your way. That's the slogan. Have your holiday your way. Y'all type that in the comment section. Any comment from you, Athena?
Enjoy and be safe.
Yes. And my closing comment is just have a great holiday season. Make memories. Make sure you have fun. And you can never go back and get this time back again. So enjoy it. Be in the moment. Don't worry about what the stressors are. Just have fun and enjoy your life the way that God created it to be for you. All right. Any other comments? Okay. All right. I think that's awesome. We've had a great Freestyle Friday. Y'all enjoyed yourselves?
Yes.
Had a blast, as usual.
As usual. Yes.
So we'll come back together again soon and hopefully do some more intense. We're going to have a couple of intense times that we come back with our mental health expert for sure on a topic that we've agreed must be covered before the holiday season. I'm not going to reveal what it is yet, but we're going to get that date for you all. And Sunshine, we hope to see you some more before the holidays formally kick off. All right.
Thank you. Yes. Natasha, I'm coming to visit you, sis.
Yeah,
you come on down.
Kim?
Yeah, we need to just get a flight and go there together because I'm going to be there. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lotus Rashay. Thank you all in the virtual studio audience for tuning in. And I want to thank everyone that gave. Let me say this last thing. Everyone that gave for Giving Tuesday with Gabe's Heart Foundation. We raised $6,700 towards defibrillators being placed in public spaces around the country. So if you are interested in giving as well, you can go to Gabe'sHeartFoundation.org, $ Gabe's Heart, and we are placing defibrillators around the country. If you're interested in having it placed in your location, reach out to me and tell us your story. And our goal is to raise $45,000. And we have a gala coming up where we'll be giving some defibrillators out there as well. So thank you for your contribution on Giving Tuesday. We truly appreciate it. And you can go and learn more. All right. That's today's episode, everybody. Have a great day. Love you all. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference. And I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and